Darren Bent turned around and said, well, when do you not become proud? What scoreline? Because he was saying like 4-1 was actually a bit of a disaster, like because it did sort of turn into a disaster. He was like, what scoreline do you get before you turn around and go, nah, that was a stupid idea?
But he's also an Arsenal fan who hates Tottenham.
Yeah, but I'm asking, I do know that, but I'm asking you.
If that was me and that was Sunderland's, if we lose 2-1 with 9 men, or we lose 8-1 and have a proper fucking go at it, I'll take that.
It weren't a foul. Just be stronger.
It's not a foul.
Like, it's not a foul. It's not. Yeah, and yeah, it may have been offside, but they can't prove it because it was too close. But everyone's forgetting one thing. Like, if Gabriel just defended the ball, or if the Arsenal player hadn't stopped, did you see them all stop?
Yeah. Ben White
all stopped.
Yeah,
they all stopped, and like, mate, that's
all right. Let me ask you something. Then. Let me ask you something. I'll ask you both. Like, if that isn't Gabriel that he's got his two hands in, if that's David Raya, he's got his two hands in like that. Is that given as a foul?
Oh, 100%. But we all know that goalkeepers are. I see a foul get given the other day. It was his own player. I see one the other day. It was his own player that blocked him off.
I know which one you mean.
And I was like,
yeah. Football feast, this the Football Feast Extra podcast, ay, Football Feast Extra podcast, playing soccer, grab your keys, playing soccer, time to meet, playing soccer, time to greet, they finna talk a lot, okay, playing soccer, get the cleats, playing soccer, let's get it, playing soccer, let's go, Football Podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Football Feast Extra podcast. I'm here with Baron and Billy, back to pick apart another weekend of football action. How you both doing?
Well, we could be better.
Good. I'm all right.
Yeah, considering the results at the weekend, considering Arsenal lost. How you doing with that, Baron?
Do you know what? I'm upset, but it's not. Well, it is a bad result, but, a lot of people are going to go to St James Park this season and lose. So, it's not like you're losing to the bottom of the league, is it? You're losing to one of your top four contenders. Because I still think now they probably will make top four because I actually rate them.
Yeah, Newcastle, decent team. And Billy, Sunderland, didn't they get football managered over the weekend?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many shots we had in the end. I think it's over 20-something. It's actually ridiculous.
It's probably my fault because I had him in my acca.
Probably.
Oh.
I'll blame you then, Baron. They did. To be fair, Swansea missed a penalty, so I can't really complain too much. Well, keeper saved it.
You always have one team, don't you, that you put in an acca and they always screw you over, like, every time you put them in. Like, mine is Stoke. Every time I put Stoke in, they'll just do the opposite to what I put them on. Every time.
Mine's everyone. Mine's every team I put in.
You need to stop betting. It's every team.
Yeah, to be fair, my name ain't going that well recently. I did get one at the weekend. I did win one at the weekend, but that's the first time I've won one in months.
Also, this is the first podcast as Baron has 2 children now. Last time we had just one.
He didn't steal one. He actually had another one. So it
was actually. I took a thing out of Andrew's book and just locked the doors.
Yeah, Baron came around mine for Halloween.
I had a little baby girl born last week. Very happy, very excited. One of each now, so that's done. I'm done.
So you've got the Haaland project with Henry, or we've got the Jill Scott project with.
I'm doing both. I'm going to do them both. There's just going to be footballers everywhere.
Nice. You're going to get your own little 5-a-side team.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. No, I'm not having any more. No.
You'll have to steal some of yours, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm done.
Everywhere.
I'll wait for you two to start popping them out. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a Football Feast Extra 5-a-side team.
God, could you imagine? Mine will just fall over.
Mate, I'm well done. It's hard work. And I didn't even give birth.
Yeah, it's hard work. You've had 2 weeks off work. So you're living the life.
Well, I ain't even back at work yet.
God, don't let Nat listen to this.
No. Oh, God.
But anyway, let's get into some of the action over the weekend. Lots of things to talk about today. Lots of decisions that debatable. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by going through a few tweets and discussing them, and we'll get into the games that way. Quite a lot of strong opinions on Twitter this weekend. A lot of things happened. So these aren't in any particular order, so it's just the first one that I've sort of grabbed. And this first one is about the Newcastle and Arsenal game, a lot of VAR decisions in that game. This is the tweet. So the VAR recordings were released, and this person here, his name is Danny, he's just basically quoted them. But this is just out and out embarrassing. You should all be sacked, a disgrace to the game. On Bruno Guimaraes' elbow, I can't say his name, elbow, he has not used his arm as a weapon. It's not nice, but no more than a yellow card. On the Newcastle goal, the ball looks out. We can't possibly give it from that angle. On Gordon being offside, there's no conclusive evidence whether Gordon is behind the ball, so stick with the on-field decision. On the push on Gabriel, there's 2 hands on Gabriel's back, but we can't be sure it's a push. So I'm going to ask Billy first, because he's the neutral. What did you think about the Newcastle goal? Like, do you think it should have stood? Is there anything in there that you're thinking, hang on, they've got that wrong?
The only one, so the ball's in play. If people don't know that now, they should probably go back to school, because it's been proven, hasn't it? Like in the Japan game at the World Cup, they proved it on like Sky Sports. They proved it yesterday, just before the game. Just because the ball's out doesn't mean it's out because of the curvature, and it's in. And if the ref is just going to say, well, I can't tell, he can't not give it.
Yeah.
Same as the offside one. He cannot tell physically, the VAR cannot tell when the ball has come off Joe Linton. So you can't rule it out if you don't know.
Okay.
And the push is the only one I would say was thingy. Gabriel needs to be stronger.
Yeah, he does.
He's flopped to the floor like a swan. There was 2 hands, but I don't know if there was any force in it. He's leaning down anyway. And the refs can't be sure, or VAR can't be sure, so what can you do? You can't not give it if you're not sure. Attacker's advantage. It's always been that way.
I do think that if the referee on the field had ruled any of those out, VAR wouldn't have overturned any of them. It's just the fact that they've gone with the on-field decision for all of them. I mean, at the time, I was really, really annoyed, and I'm a little bit annoyed about a few of them. Like, mainly, to be fair, for me, it's the offside. Like, I get that it's hard to tell. I do get that, but for me, it looks offside. And if that was the only thing that was wrong with that goal, but there was just so much, it just looked dodgy to me. Like, it was just the fact that it was 3. Even there was even a 4th decision in there, because apparently Joe Linton handballed it as well. Like, when it came off him, like, I heard that he handballed it as well. What do you think, Aaron?
Well, as you can see, I've been kind of quiet because I haven't got quite strong feelings on this, right? And I think a lot of people be surprised what I'm going to say, because to me, it's a goal. It is a goal. And you know what? Because the ball doesn't go out of play. Bill's right. It's 100%. It's proven. I've even got pictures on my phone to prove it. It didn't go out of play. Gabriel, I think he's lost the flight of the ball a little bit with Raya coming out, and he sort of thought, do you know what? I can feel an arm on my back. I'll dive to the floor. I reckon if he's stronger in that position, he probably wins the header. Do you know what I mean? I agree with Bill on that one. I've seen him given. Someone sent me, I think it was Cedric Suarez, 2 seasons ago at White Hart Lane, where he shoved, I think it was like Kane or something, off the ball. When the ball doesn't even go to him, it's like a cross. It goes past him, and he gives him a shoulder barge, and they give a penalty. That is worse than that. So they are given. But again, I don't think it is a penalty, personally. I think it's got... I mean, Gabriel's not small. You know, it's not like a fullback, is it? Like, you know, it's not like an Ashley Cole size where he's getting man out. He's a big brute of a man. And, yeah, do you know what? 90% of people don't even understand that offside rule of when the goalkeeper is full, like, becomes an outfield player, because then you need 2 players behind the ball. So, do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me that they give the goal. And you're right, I can't even remember which one, I think it was Andrew who said it. You can't not give the goal because you're not sure. If the ref puts the flag, if the liner puts the flag up, right? The liner puts the flag up and says offside, I think it's offside because you can't tell. Unfortunately for Arsenal, he didn't give it offside, he didn't give the ball out, and he didn't give a foul. So I've got no qualms with it not being ruled out. The thing I've got a problem with is the Guimaraes one, the Bruno one. He's run up to him. He's tried to take him out. He's missed him, and then he's run up to him, and he's forearmed him in the head. And I've not heard of them quotes, and I'll be honest, I don't know how true them quotes are because I'm sure that had been all over Sky Sports News, but I haven't seen it. But I'm not, they might be. But to me, it's a sending off straight away. It's a sending off, and then he does it again later on. He pushes the bloke in the face. I mean, and if we're going to go even back, so we're not just being biased here, the Kai Havertz one, right? Yeah, it is bad, but again, he doesn't touch it well. He touches him with his trailing leg, no studs, nothing that high. Newcastle, they lost their heads there. I don't know why. He done fantastically well there, really. He got a yellow card himself and got 3 of their players booked. Do you know what I mean?
That's how much we're grasping at straws with Kai Havertz. Like, that's the best contribution he's made in an Arsenal shirt. He made a tackle, got 3 Newcastle players booked. Like, that says it all, really.
As a goal, I don't have a problem with it. As a game, right, mate, it just proves where Arsenal lack is a centre forward. One shot in target, it's all right Arteta coming out, and I make Arteta right. What he said, I agree everything he said in his press conference. It is a disgrace. You're telling me that club is worth £300 billion and they haven't got a camera down the goal line so they can see if the ball went in and out of play? That's a fucking joke. That's third, all right. That's just one of them, right? I'm just getting at that, right? So how, what's going on there? But, I've actually lost my train of thought where I was going with that then. Because of that wild, I've wild myself up. But you get what I'm saying, didn't you? They £300 million worth of club and it ain't got a camera down the goal line to tell you if the ball goes in or out of play.
Yeah.
What is going on?
But with the Guimaraes one,
go on.
Sorry, just to go back to that just real quick. Yeah. I don't understand how it isn't a sending off. It's a sending off. When Gary Neville, or whoever it was, said, "Oh no, he's used his forearm and not his elbow," does that matter?
Yeah,
we just go around forearming people in the face now, and we go, "Well, he didn't hit him with his elbow. That's fine." Yeah. It's a sending off. He's just run up to him and just smashed him in the head. The second one, the little push in the face, he's not even. That's not even a booking. That's ridiculous. If we give him, he's
probably booked him because of the 15 other fouls that he's committed.
Yeah, probably. But the actual,
he's
just pushed him in a way. That's not.
But I mean,
that's just.
Yeah, I'm not, sorry. I remember where I was going. We're trying to thought right now. The problem with that game, right, is Arteta blaming like that. He's got to look at the team. He's got to look at his players. Like they're not. Some of them aren't good enough. You can't be going to St James's Park with that midfield, in my opinion. Poor old Declan Rice. He must have felt like he was playing for West Ham again. He was miles above everyone. He was miles above everyone. That's what do you know what I mean? Like, I like Kai Havertz, yeah. I think he does do a lot of work. Like, he does a lot of running, he does a lot of chasing, he wins headers. He does a job, right? Yeah. So, I've got a thing for him. Jorginho's not good enough. Jorginho is not good enough. He's all right probably against your Sheffield United, when you can Burnley, when you can rest player. Fabio Vieira, too lightweight. He had me going for a minute. I thought he was going well. Showed his old colours. He's not good enough for the Premier League. Eddie, you can score a hat-trick against Sheffield United, mate, but you're not good enough to play a top 6 team. That you ain't good enough. You didn't have one shot on target. You didn't have a shot. So, as much as Arsenal are playing well, and I think they'll be fine top 4, my idea of them winning the league really went downhill on Saturday because I just looked like once you got Jesus injured, you've got no backup to Saka. Saka looks so tired. He looks so fucked. The bloke needs a rest. Whether you play Trossard out there for a couple of games just to give Saka a bit of a rest, maybe that's something you do, and you take the hit on the points if you do lose the games. I mean, we've got Burnley this weekend. I'd like to see him not even be in the squad. Personally, give him a good rest.
Yeah, because there was that moment, wasn't it, where he was in the box, like the ball rolled to his feet. He had no idea where he was.
Yeah, he just looks tired. He looks
just like
so
the ball
leggy.
hit his foot. And he kind of just moved. He kind of just turned around. It's like, where am I?
I mean, he's played.
One more thing, sorry, about the goal that no one's mentioned yet is Raya. What the fuck hell is he doing?
Well, I did sort of say, didn't I? I did sort of say, like, I think Gabriel's got a bit like flustered and lost the ball in the air with Raya coming out and flapping at it. Mate, he's good with his feet, but he ain't a very good goalkeeper.
He's having a shocker.
That's all I'm saying. He's all right with his feet, but he ain't very good. Ramsdale's a better shot stopper. Or decision maker.
I'll go with that,
do you know what I mean? If you're comparing them two goalkeepers,
I don't know if it's just the pressure. Obviously, you've got Ramsdale on the bench. Taken over. He looks bad. He looks a real bad goalkeeper.
I think he was at a very average team, right? And he can look good in that team because they're average, and he's probably a bit better than average. And now he's in a very good team, and he's also got that pressure of a good goalkeeper behind him. And yeah, maybe it is getting to him, but mate, I don't know.
It's everything about like his positioning is terrible. He's coming out and claiming the ball is awful. You don't just forget that overnight. It must just be pressure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I mean, fair play to Newcastle. A lot of people go, "Oh, draw would have been a fair result." I think they deserve to win the game. They scored, we didn't. Game over.
I think they did, and that's probably harder for me to say than it is you.
Well, the other thing I want to go on to before we move on from the Arsenal game is, I think Baron mentioned it a little bit ago. Mikel Arteta coming out. Arsenal put a statement out as well. Now, I've heard Baron's opinions on this. Billy, you didn't like this.
It's just an embarrassment. Like, you've lost the game. You wasn't good enough. Stop making fucking shitloads of excuses. We all take the piss out of Klopp. Every single one of us take the piss out of Klopp when he comes out after every defeat and blames the length of the grass and shit like that. Arteta's getting into that territory now. You don't lose very often, but when you do, there's always something. There's a reason why you've lost. You weren't good enough yesterday.
If you look at
all.
If you look at some of I know what you mean. If you look at some of the results, though, of the ones we have lost or have dropped points in, there are some very, very controversial decisions. You go back to last season against Brentford when they scored the offside goal.
Why doesn't he come out when Højlund got taken down in the box?
I would say
Arsenal. Why didn't you come out then and be like, "Oh no, that was a penalty. We should look at the refs on that."
Yeah,
you can't just come out when it suits you.
But I think it was a build-up of lots of emotions, and he's just lost his head. And I'll make him right with pretty much everything he said. This is meant to be the best in the league. We've all said it. It's meant to be the best league in the world, and the officiating is awful. And it's not just the Arsenal games. We're going to go through loads of them in a minute, aren't we? It's almost every game there's a problem with VAR.
Yeah, but is the refereeing awful, or is VAR awful? I don't think the referee's got bad.
It's VAR.
A lot of them wait now. They don't make decisions because they want VAR to do it so they get it right. I would just scrap the fucking lot. I would have the referee a game of football, because everyone's moaning about VAR. The refs give that goal as well. So no VAR, it would have counted.
I actually thought the ref had a great game on Saturday in the Newcastle game. He made the right decision with the Havertz decision. He put 3 of the Newcastle players because they're getting in his face when they shouldn't. Only the captain should be able to talk to the ref. And even that, I watched that Spurs manager. We'll go on Spurs in a minute, but I watched Spurs manager's interview the other day, and he said something. He said, growing up, he's old school. He went, growing up, you used to be scared of referees. No one's scared of a referee anymore. And he's right.
Oh, no, shit.
Yeah, they all just run up to him. Mate, book a lot of them. Book them all. Book every single player that runs up to a referee, and that'll soon stop it. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. Apart from the elbow incident or the forearm, because that matters.
But he might have not seen that.
He got everything right.
Yeah, but he might have not seen that, so you can't blame him for that. But VAR should look at that and go, you might want to look at this. Fair enough. And this is what else refs got to do. Don't always give the penalty or red card when you go to the monitor. Have a look at the monitor and make your own decision. Don't just go, oh yeah, I've got that wrong, red card. Oh, penalty. Make a decision. Because sometimes
they're too scared now, though.
100%. Because
they're too scared.
If it had gone, if whoever was in VAR had gone over to the ref and said, take a look at this, and he's gone here and he's looked at it and he's thought, actually, I don't think that's that bad. Or like, well, the the Spurs defender that kicked out last night.
Romero.
If he goes up to the monitor and has a look at it and goes, that's petulance or that's just pathetic, do that again, you're gone, here's a yellow card. He could have done anything like that, couldn't he? But he didn't.
Yeah.
I know they say they can't get involved with yellow cards, but they should get involved. So you're telling me if something like that happens again, he goes up to the monitor, he has to either send him off or just play the game. Surely he can book him.
I've got a question for you both. Is it actually time to just scrap it and let the refs do their job?
Yeah, 100%. It's not working. I don't know why it seems to work in other countries and in other sports, but in the Premier League, it's just not working.
I mean, I do have a tweet about that coming up, but
I jumped ahead.
We jumped ahead a little bit, but
we'll read that tweet out, and we'll talk about that.
All right, we'll go on to this. Well, okay, right. This tweet then, it's from Jamo. The FA have to sack Webb and break the bank to bring Pierluigi Collina, I think I've said that right, in for a root and branch review and improvement of the PGMOL. Premier League and FA have so much money, yet rugby officials in both codes leave them behind. Do our refs have to pass an aptitude test? That's the tweet.
Well,
so basically,
I don't think it's Yeah,
Go on.
but I don't think it's not Howard's Webb fault, is it, that it's not working? He don't control the referees. It's the referees in general that are making the wrong thing, like the mistakes. You know, you can't just yeah. Howard's Webb's not out there training each one up, going, "This is a foul, this ain't a foul, this is a foul, this ain't." Is he? I mean,
you know what? I'll raise you that actually. Like, I mean, this is all related, so I'll read this tweet as well. We can discuss it all because it's related to this, and it just sort of counters your point a little bit. I think anyway. Right, let me just grab it. Right, okay. This is the tweet from CFC Ronnie, and I don't even know if you've heard about this yet, but this was on Twitter. What kind of horror is this? So Anthony Taylor gets demoted to the Championship for a single game where he causes chaos, and is parachuted back to the top flight to handle Chelsea versus Man City next weekend. So I didn't know if you know that Anthony Taylor was demoted.
I was literally just about to say that.
He had a horrific. I don't know if you saw that penalty that he gave, but what was that? And he was being put straight back into the biggest game of the weekend. Like, that's Howard Webb. Like he decide whether referees referee.
Yeah. So he's been demoted to the Championship for a week. He's had an absolute shocker. This weekend, he's refereeing City versus Chelsea. What's logic? Is it because is there enough referees? Is that a problem? Is that an issue?
Well, why can't you grab a referee from League One or League Two? Why are they,
Watch League One. They're fucking awful. But let's be honest, right? We will always moan about referees.
Yeah, we have done for 100 years.
And we're outdone. Even if it's the right decision, let's be honest, apart from Barron today, who's come out and be like, yeah, fair enough. Most of us, even if it is the right decision, we'll go, nah, it's wrong. We've been robbed. Most of us will.
But
the neutrals,
I still think
don't care.
The problem is, though, is when VAR gets it wrong, you shouldn't get it wrong. How are you getting it wrong?
Because it's still someone's opinion.
Mate, yeah, but they shouldn't be getting it wrong. I mean, we argued, didn't we? Well, not argued, but we said yesterday about the Romero challenge. Is it a red card or is it not a red card? Like, me and Andrew.
There's two different opinions already.
Yeah, but two over one. Do you know what I mean? There's 3 people in the VAR. There's like 3-4 people in there. Surely they can work it out between them.
Yeah, but ain't there a head? There's a guy that runs the VAR, isn't he? He could overrule. If I was that one overruling, I could just be like, no, he's all right.
Yeah, but surely you would think if 3 people were telling you one thing, you must be looking at it wrong.
Opinions.
People that bone idle. Like, no, that's it. It's mine.
But it is still opinions, though. There's no.
Yeah, I have said this.
To say it's a free kick or not.
I have said that, but that it is just someone else's opinion. But I mean, if you can watch it and you can slow it down or speed it up or do whatever you want to do with it, pause it, thing, right? Because I have seen a photo of the Jared and Gabriel one where it does look like it's like DDT in him basically, and it's like, well, how did you not give that? But like we all know, we've all said before. When you slow it down or you freeze it, it does look bad and it does look worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with like what you said about referees, I think that that Lampard goal against Germany, like you can turn around and say, oh, the referee's missed that, and you can go nuts about it. You can just be like, oh, how has he missed that? But he's missed it. There's not much more you can say. But when they scrutinise, analyse it, and get it wrong, it's like, well, how are they getting this wrong? So I sort of get what Barron's saying, like. And I know that everyone looks at things differently, has different opinions, but it just happens so often. Like it happens, it's wrong more than it's right half the time. I swear these days.
But that's because even you put that Newcastle goal on social media, half will say yeah, it should count, half will say no.
Probably only the Arsenal fans will say yeah.
Different opinions. Yeah, true.
It was just because there was 3 different checks, potentially 4 with that handball. I don't think that was even checked, but I'll let that one slide. There's 3 different checks. Like, if you put that on social media, yeah, it probably is a 50-50 split. But you would think that out of 3 checks, they would disallow it for one of them. Like, they're all very contentious, and I do get the explanation.
Yeah, but you can't just turn around and go, there was 3 possible checks there, it has to be a no-goal. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was desperately unlucky
possible reasons.
It wasn't disallowed. Yeah,
but the first one,
the ball was in.
The ball was out of play.
The ball was in, definitely.
You know what I mean? It weren't a foul. Just be stronger.
It's not a foul.
It's not a foul. It's not. Yeah, and it may have been offside, but they can't prove it because it was too close. But everyone's forgetting one thing. Like, if Gabriel just defended the ball, or if the Arsenal player hadn't stopped, did you see them all stop?
Yeah, Ben White
stopped.
Yeah.
They all stopped. And like, mate, that's
All right. Let me
like
ask you something then.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. I'll ask you both. Like, if that isn't Gabriel that he's got his two hands in, if that's David Raya, he's got his two hands in like that, is that given as a foul?
Oh, 100%. But we all know that goalkeepers are mate, I see a foul get given the other day. It was his own player. I see one the other day. It was his own player that blocked him off.
I know which one you mean.
And I was like, really?
It just shouldn't be different, should it? Like, if it's a foul on one person, it's a foul on another person. Just because he's wearing gloves, it shouldn't be any different.
Yeah, but that's the other way around, is it? If a keeper comes out, whacks a geezer in the face, it's not normally a free kick or penalty.
Yeah, it's true. It should be.
But I swear, if Gabriel comes over, misses his header, and just nuts another guy, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It works both ways. Goalkeepers are protected. It's always been like that. And he should just be in position anyway. He wasn't in position, was he? Comes out, flaps it, and he's the reason that they conceded. And Gabriel's not strong enough.
As an example, yeah, definitely.
Just poor from Arsenal. Poor from Arsenal.
Yeah, we're going to move away from VAR just for a minute. We'll be back to it when we go through the Chelsea Spurs game. But I thought we'd have a break and talk about Jeremy Doku for a little bit. So I've got a tweet here from Tony. Jeremy Doku for €60 million feels like a steal when you remember Mudryk and Antony both cost 100 million each. I'm not sure Mudryk was quite 100 million.
Well,
close.
Hold on a minute.
I'm still going. It's one of the things that separates us from our rivals. It's not about spending. It's about spending with sense. So that's from a Man City fan. Spending with sense.
First of all, that was like the first game he's done anything in.
No, he's been quite
He's
good.
been good. He just hasn't scored, has he? Like he has scored, but he's not had that. Like he was.
How many goals and assists has he got this season? Minus the 4 he got at the weekend. Anyone know?
I think for the games and the minutes he's played, he's actually like really he's up there.
I don't know. I'm asking you, look.
I'll have a look.
I'm pretty sure you had him in your dream team and took him out because he was shit.
Well, he kept getting subbed off, didn't he? He got subbed off when that.
He played 8 games.
Yeah.
I think he's only started maybe 3 or 4, and he's got 2 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah, but 4 of them came in one game. So take away that one game and the 4 assists. He's got 2 goals and one assist in 7 games. What do we say about wingers, Bill? Ain't good enough.
How many hat-tricks did Haaland score last year?
I don't know, 55.
If you take his hat-tricks off and just give him 1 goal, he hasn't scored in half the games.
But if you look at the players that he's been compared to in that tweet there, Antony and Mudryk, they've been at their clubs for a lot longer, and they've not had one game where you said that was just that one game he's got 4. When's Mudryk and Antony got 4 goal contributions? I'm
not saying, mate. Antony was the biggest waste of money in the world, and Mudryk, mate. Do you see what he did yesterday? I really could have done better than that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you must have the cross I'm on about it because it just even Gary Neville was like. He just never looked comfortable ever running up.
He wasn't
like,
set.
But mate, when I was sitting there in my front room looking at it, I was thinking, "Is he all right? Is he going to fall over?" And then he crossed the ball, and it just went like.
You know what I do feel sorry for? Jack Grealish. Like he was so good. Like the end of last season,
but then
just took his place. Like he's out.
Yeah, but that's the problem with that Man City team, isn't it? And that's why, right? I know it's going to sound really stupid saying this, but if I was like a professional footballer, it'd put me off going to somewhere like City because it's just too many players. I'd much rather go to, an Arsenal, a Chelsea, a Liverpool, where you might get a bit more game time. Mate, awesome. And I'll be honest with you, I said as well, maybe he ain't as good as everyone thought he was because why would Pep let him go? But he's looking mustard, isn't he? But
yeah, I really rate him.
It's the same with like Jadon Sancho though. When he left City, didn't he? Everyone's like, why are you leaving City? Look at Phil Foden. And he was absolutely brilliant at Borussia Dortmund. Got an £80 million move to Man United and he's been frozen out.
Never to be seen again.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'd take a risk on him. If he came available for a decent sum of money in January, I'd buy him.
But back to Andrew's point, I'm a big, massive fan of Doku. And yeah, what they've spent on him to what Man United spent on Antony and what Chelsea spent on Mudryk, it's just mad.
I'd only say
over quantity.
Yeah, I would say though as well that you got to remember it's still early doors for him, and they did spend 60 million. It's not like they got it for 20 million. It's not like that, it's not like a Martinelli £6 million, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like they paid 80 million.
Think about it.
It's still a lot of money. I'd want him to be doing what he's doing for 60 million quid. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I think the point is, like, Man City really don't miss on transfers. You go back last 6-7 years, the players they've bought, not one have any of them flopped.
Phillips,
Not really.
the only one.
I can't think of a flop.
Calvin Phillips,
Who?
the only one. Calvin Phillips.
Well, he don't play him, does he? But
yeah,
but they've probably got the best scouting team in the world now, haven't they? You know, it's not like me and it's not like us three going out there watching him thinking, oh, he might be all right, buy him, is it? They've probably got the top scouts in the world of like.
They're all on Football Manager looking up these players.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, I get what he's saying, but I think I don't think he's necessarily right. Like, you know, you spent 60 million on a winger, you expect him to be doing well. Maybe I'm just being a bit Roy Keane here.
True.
But do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they've got him for 10 million quid and he's like, fuck, wow, what a player. Do you know what I mean? They've spent 60 million on him. All right, yeah, you can do that against Antony and you can do it against Mudryk, but like, just go Trossard then, 29 million. He got 3 assists in one half last season. Is that bargain? Yeah, do you know what I mean? But that's 29 million. You know, I'm just trying to think of other players, but unfortunately, Maddison, 40 million. How good has he been this season?
True.
Yeah.
Better than 20 million cheaper. I mean, I get what he's saying, but I think he's wrong.
So you don't think that Man City are where they are because of the way they've bought players?
No, I think they're where they are because they've spent massive amounts of money and cheated.
Yeah, but so has everyone.
Yeah,
Who
but
hasn't?
I'm not saying that, but yeah, they've spent massive amounts.
Declan Rice. How much Arsenal spent in the last couple of years?
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they've broken financial fair play many times over, brought the best players, and they've won it. Fair play to them.
Yeah, if you actually look at how much they've actually spent on the players that they bought, how much did they pay for De Bruyne?
60-something million.
You bought Declan Rice for 100.
Yeah, but if you want to talk it like that, if you go inflation, how much is that worth now? 64 million 6 years ago was probably 100 million. See what I'm saying?
Still bargain.
But you know what I'm saying, though, don't you? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, but I've said this loads of times. If Declan Rice stays at Arsenal for 10 years, right, and Arsenal do win Premier Leagues and does win a Champions League or wins trophies, people will look at that in 10 years ago going, that was a bargain, that was 100 million. I know it sounds stupid now.
I see what the guy's saying. Like, City do not miss when they buy a player.
No. But I think we're getting a bit confused here. I'm not saying like he's a shit player or they buy shit players. And what I'm saying is comparing like a 60 million player to like Antony or Mudryk or whatever. You've spent 60 million though. Still, you know, you've not brought him for 10 million quid. I'd expect him to be doing well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like, I don't know. Now I've gone off.
I think the thing with him as well is it's a new league. I really like Doku. I liked him at the World Cup when I saw him. I always remember saying for Belgium he was so good.
Yeah.
But when they took Mahrez out the door, Grealish was probably thinking, I'm getting in this team. Like, I'm getting in. I'm going to be regular. Mahrez goes out the door, and then they bring in this Doku. And did anyone even remember Mahrez left in the summer? Like, they've not missed him, have they? Not at all.
Nah. Well, they wouldn't let him go if they would miss him, would they? And I'll be honest with you, I know everyone keeps going on the Grealish bandwagon, but I think he's bang average Grealish. I think he's all right, but I know he did play well towards the end of last season. But I'm not surprised they've tried to replace him or try and get better. He's not £100 million player.
He's not dynamic.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
That's the thing. He's not dynamic.
Huh?
I said he's not dynamic. Go on. He's not a dynamic player. He's not
direct.
You could argue that was too much money, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one out. That's 1 out of 50.
100 mil is too much for anyone, if we're being really honest.
Mate, when I was sitting there watching Declan Rice on Saturday and looking at the rest of the team, he's worth 200 million because he was the only player playing.
He was really good,
much.
But it's still not much money.
It's too much.
Yeah. I did want to ask you though, Baron, actually, talking about transfers, and here's a question for you. So Chelsea, right? They sold Arsenal Kai Havertz for what, 60-65 million? I think you mentioned him earlier. And they turned around and bought Cole Palmer for what, 30-35? What a bit of business that actually was. I think Cole Palmer is such a good player.
But you could argue that they brought Mudryk for 80 million, like that bloke just said. So I mean, it's good and bad business, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not saying their scouting network is like flawless. I swear they were buying players that other people had scouted. It was like on Football Manager. They're like, I ain't fully scouting him. I'm just going to buy him and hope he's all right.
What I will say, Chelsea have done well, getting 60, 65 million for Havertz and getting 60, 65 million for Mason Mount. They've done pretty well there, haven't they? Really, they got 130 million there.
Yeah, weaken their rivals at the same time.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And like, I'm not. You talk about how bad Havertz been. I've not even heard Mason Mount's name mentioned. So at least people are talking about him.
Okay, right. We're back to VAR. This isn't the Tottenham game though. I don't know if anyone's actually seen this though. Did anybody see the highlights or watch the Sheffield United Wolves game?
What, you're on about the penalty? I have not. I have not seen it. No, but I assume someone would bring it up because it was like 100th minute.
Well, Steve Abrahams here has said to everyone saying it wasn't a penalty, it was. Ref gave it, VAR backed him up, Norwood scored, we celebrated. It counted as a goal. It was one more goal than Wolves scored. We took 3 points. They took none. Suck it up. So that's the tweet. Billy, did you see the penalty decision?
No, but he's got a point.
I agree with it.
They've scored. They've won 3 points. Go home. See you later.
Yeah, if it wasn't so late in the game, they probably wouldn't have kicked off as much. But because it was like in stoppage time, but that was all that was on.
Like I said,
all over the internet.
Like I said earlier, people will kick off, even if it could be a stonewall penalty in the last minute, and we're going to say it's not. If you support that team, that's just the way it goes. There's not going to be many that go, oh yeah, no, we lost, yeah, penalty. You're going to find some kind of thing to be like, no, it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah,
I'm just getting out now to have a look. I'm that interested in the penalty. I'm hoping it's going to show me. But I'm watching about like 50 million adverts, so you carry on.
Because the only people that care about thingies like that are the teams that matter, or if you got it as an acca. If you had that as a draw, you'd be fuming that it was given as a penalty.
I actually know someone that won 300 quid because that goal went in.
But if you didn't, and you wasn't a Wolves fan, it's a penalty. It's a goal, they've won the game. Same as Newcastle-Arsenal game. If you're not an Arsenal fan, you're not a Newcastle fan, and you haven't got that down your acca as a draw, doesn't really matter, does it? It's a goal.
Yeah. And probably the teams around them as well. Like Luton will probably wanted Sheffield United to not win that game, so they're probably no, it wasn't a penalty.
Exactly, and it's just, yeah.
It wouldn't load up, so don't worry about it.
All right, okay. Before we move on to the last sort of tweet in the last game, which is the Monday Night Football, we've got a lot to talk about with that. I just wanted to give it. I don't have a tweet for it, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to Luton that managed to get a point at home to Liverpool, which their best result ever, maybe.
They played well.
They did. They were good. Liverpool were really poor.
Yeah, I was watching Monday Night Football yesterday just before, and they was going on about strikers, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And they were still banging on about Darwin Núñez. He's the future. The man is so bad. Stick him on the wing. He might be fine. He's quick. He's strong. He can't finish for shit.
No, he can't.
He's an awful goal scorer. He's a goal scorer that doesn't score goals. And you're still, oh no, he's a future Carragher licking his ass because he plays for Liverpool.
Yeah, he will do that, won't he?
His arsehole. He's shit.
Yeah, I'd rather have Diego Jota misses goal than Darwin Núñez. Jota's
chance after chance after chance after chance.
Is it another one of them 80 million? They paid 8.
Carragher said yesterday, well, yeah, no, he's doing well because he's getting in the right positions. He had 11 shots yesterday. But 11 shots he didn't score. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're supposed to be an £80 million striker.
Yeah. Is it a bit like
shots and not scoring?
Is it a bit like they've spent that money on him? We better play him. Do you know what I mean? Like we've spent that much money on him. We better try and get him going.
But they don't even play him. Like not all the time. Like he's in a game out game. This is why he's not in my fantasy team. And the only reason I would consider putting him in is because he does get about 11, 12 chances a game because he's so quick and strong. And he's bound to score one of them. Yeah.
I've never heard someone bigging up a player for having 10 shots before. He was like, no, he's good. He's getting in right positions.
How many were on target?
Awful. No composure whatsoever.
But the goals he scored against Newcastle, he looked like he looked like a proper world class striker.
But even a blind dog finds a bone once a week. Do you know what I mean?
He's a hit and hope. He's a hit and hope striker. He's got no technique, is he? He just smashes the ball as hard as he can.
Yes.
And that's all right if you've got a bit of technique like Harry Kane. He's no Harry Kane, who's got that technique where he can smash it but keep it going exactly where it needs to go.
If you look at most of his goals, they are like 100-mile-an-hour shots. Don't matter if he's 2 yards or 30 yards out, he's just hitting it as hard as he can, hoping the goalkeeper won't be able to move quick enough.
I just couldn't believe Carragher was like, no, he's good. He's just had 11 shots in the first half and hasn't scored against Luton.
Yeah.
But
fair play to Luton anyway, and fair play to Luis Diaz, who managed to come off the bench despite what's going on, and he still scored a goal within like 3 minutes of coming on. Like, fair play to him as well.
Yeah,
just doing his job, isn't
he? Yeah, but it's hard to do that.
Did you see that? The FA done a tweet, didn't they, or something, saying that they weren't going to punish him for his thingy. I was like, do you have to put that out there?
Yeah, just don't say it. He didn't even do that. He lifted it. He like lifted his shirt and it had a message underneath, but he didn't even take it off.
Yeah, do that again, though.
We'll let you off this time. I know your dad's been kidnapped, right? But you're not on.
Right.
One more time, and we're having words.
Yeah. Suspension.
And then I saw another one. Sorry, just going again. I saw a picture. I think it's this season where Anthony does it before the kickoff because he knows he's not going to score. And then there was a picture of Diaz like 3 minutes later.
Oh dear!
But that was quite funny.
Yeah, that's quite funny. Right, we're going to go on to Monday Night Football. A lot to get through. Spurs versus Chelsea. I have got a tweet, and I think this tweet sort of sums up with the game. I thought this was quite a good one. It's just a stat. I don't know if you've seen this stat already. It's from Attacking Football. The ball was in play last night for 47 minutes, 57 seconds out of a possible 111 minutes, 15 seconds. That was from Opta. So 47 minutes out of 111, the ball was actually in play.
Yeah.
The rest of it was VAR
I can believe that.
But shouldn't they have played that, though?
Yeah, there should have been 47 minutes.
If the ball goes out of play, then...
Well, 111 minutes is obviously the stoppage time added on as well. But yeah, they surely should add on more, right? If the ball was
I did think this. I did think it. So when they had, what was it, like 9 minutes left or something of the second half, it might have been a bit more than that. I think one of the Spurs players went down. I think the keeper went down, and he was down for like 2 minutes, and they never added any of that time on further on. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so, mate, I've said it for ages. I said it last season, didn't I? I said it. The players will waste time. You know, they'll just waste time, and you can't really blame Spurs. Yeah, you can't really blame Spurs for trying to waste time. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not saying it's just because I'm an Arsenal fan. I've got no sympathy for them. Both players were fucking stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, both of them were like, they didn't need to do that. Neither of them, and they were lucky that Ndoggy or whatever his name is didn't get sent off. Like before he got sent off.
Let's talk about that one first then, because we might as well. I don't think Billy, you didn't think that was a sending off. I thought it was naughty. I thought that was you just can't tackle like that.
No. It's a bit like what you're saying about the Bruno forearm. So you're all right to go 2 feet off the ground if you get the ball, but even though Sterling had to move his leg out of the way so he didn't get hit. So what? Has he got to hit Sterling for it to be a foul? Because otherwise you could just 2 foot all the time, couldn't you? You just diving tackles all the time, wouldn't you? Win the ball because people jump out of the way of it. If I saw that coming, because you can see a 2 foot challenge coming from a mile away, you can see it. You know, they're off the floor with 2 feet flying at you. Do you know what I mean? Like that, I agree. 20 years ago, that mate, I've been doing them tackles myself. Do you know what I mean? But now in the modern game, it's a red card, and you know, he's a very lucky boy. And even Gary Neville said he's a lucky boy.
I just think it's got a bit soft. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So if I do that to you and your leg's there, I'll win the ball and break your leg. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
That's a red card.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So the reason why Sterling didn't get the ball is because he jumped out of the way to tackle.
Well, no, because back in the day, you wouldn't have had Sterling running around like this.
Otherwise,
Sterling in as well.
Otherwise, Sterling would have got the ball, wouldn't he? He would have got the ball first.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's a booking. It's not a red card. Didn't touch him. Get on with the game.
Yeah.
This is what, like, common sense. Ref he did, because he just gave him a booking.
Well, he did. He booked him.
It was a bit rash. He has gone up a bit naughty, but he's just ref's gone up to him like fucking sort yourself out, calm yourself down, booking. Not to send someone off that early for that.
Well, he didn't. So, in your opinion, you got
that's
it
what
right.
I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, I sat there and I was quite happy because he got a yellow card. So I was like, yeah, because I know most of you got him in your dream team, and then I realised Bill had him on his bench.
I had him on the bench. Thank God.
I didn't have him. But yeah, that was the first one. Obviously, in Doggy's second yellow card when he did get sent off, no arguments. That was a yellow card. Like I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what? When he did it, right, I was thinking he didn't just do that, did he? He did he didn't, did he? Like, why would you do that? Like, you know, you're the way and
see the way he laid on the
honest,
ground. Like, oh,
yeah, I mean, he doesn't even need to go. He doesn't even need to go for the ball. The bloke's going away from goal as well. Like, he's heading towards corner flag.
It's stupid.
No wonder why people sometimes call footballers thick. Do you know what I mean?
I get it in the moment. It's a competitive game, and in the moment, you got like the adrenaline with 50,000 people.
Even when he slid in, he probably could have still pulled his foot away and maybe not hit the player, or probably would have hit the player. But I mean, he just went straight through him. So I mean, like, because you can obviously give away a foul and it not be like a yellow card. You know, he could have tripped him up and it not been a yellow card. But he went straight through him. Like he probably could have stopped himself a little bit or made it look less like clumsy, stupid. I don't know what the word is.
True, but
could have been a bit cuter.
Agree. He should have been sent off for both of them. Yeah,
definitely. How about Romero then? So let's talk about the kick out first. So it's a bit before my time, a little bit. Obviously, I have seen it, but how similar is it to what David Beckham got sent off for?
And we'll all say right now that David Beckham should not have been sent off.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a red card. It's not a red card. It's stupid.
Yeah,
very stupid in a big game. Like people might say it weren't a big game yesterday, but like they've got quite a rivalry. Chelsea Spurs. It's normally quite a feisty game. Normally quite a good game. Now Romero doing that is stupid. Like because another day a ref could have sent him off for that or VAR because I've seen VAR send people off for less. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know he's like for them not to even go. It'd be interesting if they sent him over to the ref, what he would have done. Like, if he sent him over to the monitor, if the ref would have sent him off. Because, again, they probably... I know nothing was done because no one really saw it, but if I was reffing the game and they said go over to the monitor like that, I'd probably go over to the player and go, look, mate, I'll probably take him to the monitor and go, do that again.
Take the player over there.
Do that again, and I will send you off for being stupid because, you know, you're lucky you didn't really catch him. And don't be rolling around on the floor like you're injured after you've realised you might have done something wrong.
Yeah. That one I think is just common sense as well. Like Barry said, have a word with him. Tell him not to be a fucking idiot.
You know, do it again. I'll just send you off because that's just fucking stupid, mate.
Yeah.
But
with Romero, we spoke about him a few weeks ago, and me and Barron were quite like he's very erratic. He's a walking red card. We said, and Billy said he only got sent off once last season, which I think is right. He only got which is actually not bad. But they said on commentary,
I noticed
4 times over 75 games he's been sent off.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
It's more than any other player it's the most in them 75 games. The next player is Casemiro with 3.
I don't think that's too bad. 4 times.
I think as well.
You had Lee Cattermole in your team, didn't you, back in the day? You're lucky if he didn't get 4 red cards in a week.
Yeah, good point.
But I'll be honest, it's not that bad. I think what it is I bet if you went through them games to where he got sent off, I remember him getting sent off against Arsenal, big game. You know, you don't remember him getting sent off against Arsenal, do you? There's one obviously Chelsea last night. You know, he's not getting sent off against like your Sheffield United or your Burnley, are you? They seem to be like big.
Yeah, quite big games.
Do you know what I mean? Like games where he shouldn't really be losing his head. You know, he's a World Cup winner. He should have more about him. I know Bill. We haven't got this, but I do know Bill actually doesn't think it was a red card.
Oh, I don't.
Because you keep saying where's he meant to put his foot, but mate, he's gone through and he has carried on.
There's nothing wrong with that tackle.
Do you not think that, right? Going back again, you know the goal that wasn't given. Right, you know, the goal that wasn't given, the one that went through Jackson's legs and they gave it offside. The first Chelsea one that they thought, the second Chelsea one that they looked at the penalty. To me, that's a goal. Like
the first one is a goal for me. He's
ball?
No, the where it goes through. Where it went through Jackson's legs.
Yeah, it's a goal. I think that's a goal. Yeah, he's so far out. How can he be interfering with play? And he was offside by like a hill. Like, to me, that should be a goal. Now, if they give the goal, do they give the red card?
No,
Probably not.
you can't.
They probably don't.
Did
You can't.
they not give the goal so they could give the red card? Conspiracies everywhere here.
It was like, obviously,
Maybe.
I'm going to say, do you remember? You obviously remember that Champions League final with Arsenal-Barcelona where they sent off the goalkeeper, where they could have just let them have the goal because they scored, didn't they? They scored from it and then they pulled it back, sent the keeper off.
Yeah.
Like they ruined the game, but like you've got to make that choice, I suppose. But 100%, if they let that goal stand, then they don't send him off.
Yeah, you can't because it's the play stopped.
Yeah,
As soon as the ball hits the net.
but
I
like,
mean,
how crazy is it though that the two players that had like really close calls, like we've sort of had a debate. Some of us think it's a red, some of us don't think it's a red. They've both managed to then do something else stupid and both get sent off. Like, surely, like the temperament has to be like, okay, let's not be stupid for like at least half an hour.
well, then Reece James did you see Reece James' elbow? Which, I mean, on another day, could have eased. I didn't think it was that bad, but on another day, especially when there's already been like a red card, and you know refs love to level it up a little bit, especially if they think it's a controversial like red card. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't think that one was anything. It wasn't like the Bruno one. He ran into the back of him and just hit him, didn't he? At least he was jumping for the ball. Like, it was a little bit naughty, but no, I didn't have a problem with that one.
For the red cards for me, a Dogies is right, or a doggy, however you say it. It's 2 yellows, 100%. It's off. Romero probably should have been sent off for 2 bookings.
Yeah, but so he got the right. He got the right. He
Yeah,
got the right.
I
So
don't think
you're
it's a
saying
straight
it.
red.
You're saying it. He got the right decision in the end, but the wrong way around it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a straight red card.
Do we all think it's a penalty?
Yeah.
So you don't even think it's a penalty?
I really don't. He's got the ball. Where does your foot go? If you're going full-hearted into a tackle, you don't want him to go
I would
half-assed into a
say that the
tackle.
ball. I would say that his foot travels quite far before it hits the bloke's leg. You know, it's not like they're on top of each
Football,
other.
like, it's a contact sport.
Yeah, but
You
there's
have never
contact
done
and
that,
there's
Beckham.
Nah, I don't get close enough to the ball.
It's a contact sport, right? He's gone in full-hearted, as you should as a football player. You can't go in half-assed. That's how you get yourself out.
He was
I
really
would say,
tired,
right?
wasn't he?
This might sound stupid, but I would say in that position I wouldn't be making that challenge because it's too risky. If playing at centre back, and I have done quite a few times, looking at that, reaching out for that ball like he does, to me it's a bit too risky for a tackle. You're better off standing your ground and seeing what he does with the ball and then trying to win it, in my opinion.
And this is maybe why I got sent off most of the time. But I gave away penalties. But for me, he's gone at it full-heartedly, as he should. He's got the ball. He's got a bit of the player afterwards. It's not a penalty.
No.
It's not a red. It's not a straight red. Absolutely not. Even
What
if
do
it
you
is
think?
a penalty, it's not a straight red card.
So I haven't heard anything yet, but what do you think happened to Maddison then? Because he seemed to go down nothing around him. Do you reckon that's an Achilles heel? Do you reckon he just twisted his ankle? Because he never got touched, did he? And then he actually looked a little bit surprised, I thought, getting subbed off.
Because when I saw him go off, I thought he was being subbed off because of the substitutions and the sending off, and he was mixing his stuff around.
No,
That's
you
what I
go.
thought. I didn't even know he was injured.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know he's a doubt
That's it.
because when I've looked at my fantasy team, he's got that yellow exclamation mark. Like, that's how I know he's definitely like got something up with him.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Does it say what it is on there?
He definitely went off because he was injured. Because he went down holding his ankle, but no one was around him, and I thought, ooh. But like we were said,
It just says a knock, 75%
Yeah.
chance of playing.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he could play, but I mean, I think they say that about pretty much everyone that they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, what I wanted to ask though as well is, forget, taking the injuries and the red card and all that aside, what did you think about Ange Postecoglou's strategy of playing that? You see that image of that high line with 9 men, like, I mean, Raheem Sterling's movement is brilliant, by the way. Like, he's the one that was actually, because he had to stay on. Like, Chelsea were getting caught offside so much. Billy was saying it when the game was on. Like, they were offside every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Sterling was the one that was actually breaking the lines, bending his run, and actually getting Chelsea in.
I thought it was clever. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was never going to work. But I mean, I like the fact that they went for it because it made the game much more interesting than it did when Liverpool were down to 9 men earlier in the season. They just put all 9 men in the box, didn't it? It was much more entertaining game, but I don't think they were ever going to win the game like that. I don't think you can. And I'll be honest with you, if Chelsea could hold their runs better, because I don't know why they're trying to run so fast in advance, because pretty much all of their players are quicker than Spurs players on there. Eric Dyer on the pitch, do you know what I mean? Like, I run faster than Eric Dyer. So I don't know why they get...
You say they wouldn't have won, but they had an equaliser ruled out. He was offside.
It was
He was rightly offside. And then Son could have scored at the end there as well.
But he didn't.
That's what I mean. But they could have won.
But you could argue that Chelsea had so many more chances. They should have scored. Cucurella threw a goal, missed it. Could have squared it if for an open goal, didn't. But they were through so many like. I just think I liked it. I liked it. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I thought it was stupid. I liked it. I thought it was clever and stupid.
You know what I like most about it is if you go down to 9 men, you stick all them people behind the ball. All the fans there are fucking bored. You're probably going to lose anyway. Yeah. He's just thought, fuck it.
What you making?
Going for this?
So I had to nip out earlier and go pick up some paperwork because that's what I do in my life these days. And I had Talk Sport on, and they had loads of Spurs fans, and they're all saying how proud they were of the team, right? And then I think it was Darren Bent turned around and said, "Well, when do you not become proud? What scoreline?" Because he was saying like 4-1 was actually a bit of a disaster, like because it did sort of turn into a disaster. He was like, what scoreline do you get before you turn around and go, "Nah, that was a stupid idea"?
But he's also an Arsenal fan who hates Tottenham.
Yeah, but I'm asking. I do know that. But I'm asking you.
If that was me and that was Sunderland's, if we lose 2-1 with 9 men, or we lose 8-1 and have a proper fucking go at it, I'll take that.
Oh no!
All day, every day, I'll take it.
I don't think any. I've seen like you don't want your team to concede 8 goals.
I'll take it if it means having a go. If we just sit there with 8 men behind the ball and our goalkeeper,
what happens if you
game yesterday?
What happens if you get? Yeah, he did play really well. Mate, as a whole, Spurs played brilliantly. I can't follow. And in the first 15 minutes, before it all kicked off, I actually sat there and thought, fuck me, this team is good. For the first time, probably in 20 years, I sat there and thought, fuck me, this team is decent. They know what they're doing. That goal that Song scored that got ruled offside was outrageous.
Yeah, beautiful goal.
It was outrageous. It was like prime Arsenal in the Invincibles, it was. That's how good that goal was. Like pass.
If they had stolen a goal and was 2-1 up or whatever it was, then yeah, you defend for your life.
Yeah.
But you're not. Just have a fucking go. You lose 4-1, you lose 4-1. You might score a goal. Who knows? But yeah, if I was a Tottenham fan yesterday, I would have been quite proud of the performance.
I'd have been happy with the performance. But what happens imagine if they finish 5th. And they finished 5th on goal difference, and it was because they've conceded shit goals like that.
Then they won't care because they still got Champions League. When 5th place gets Champions League this year,
do you know what? I knew you'd say. I knew someone would say that. All right, they finished 5th. They finished 5th there, or they finished 6th. Sorry,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I knew someone would say that.
It's different for teams like Tottenham, who aren't going to be up there most of the time, are they? They're not really expected to be up there challenging for titles. And as a Sunderland fan, we ain't going to win shit. Yeah, I mean, if we miss out on 6th or 5th or something, but just have a go. That's all we care about.
And like you said, it's a derby. Chelsea Tottenham's a derby.
Imagine if they finished 2nd, on joint goal, on joint points, and they lost out on 1 goal. Their goal difference was 1 worse because they didn't want to play entertaining football.
There, where you finish 2nd, you have a go. That's the way football's supposed to be played. I fucking hate all this 9 people behind them. I just support Sunderland where a tackle gets.
I mean, how often? I mean, to be fair, I know it's going to sound really stupid because it's happened twice this season, but prior this season, I can't really remember last time a team went down to 9 men.
No, me either.
No.
That's what I mean. I was going to say, how often does it happen? I mean, it's happened twice already this season. We're only 11 games into the season, but
that was deserved.
But when you actually properly look at football, it's how it's supposed to be played, isn't it? Go out there, have a go until you can't fucking move anymore. Yeah. Run until you can't physically run. That's how football's supposed to be played. I enjoyed it.
No, do you know what? It's probably the best game I've seen in years. And I said that to the missus. I was like, do you know what? And even she actually pointed out, going, that was quite entertaining. And she hates football. And it was a brilliant game to watch. It was probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time, like a long, long time.
Yeah,
It was just end to end. There was tackle. Even Chelsea were flying the tackles in. You know.
And yeah, one more word on the keeper. He
Yeah, I
was
was just gonna
absolutely
bring it up.
unbelievable.
He was
Unbelievable.
I really rate him. I rate him so much I might put him in my fantasy team.
I think this will be. I said this, Joey. I said this a couple of weeks ago. Their next 6 fixtures are extremely hard fixtures, and it'll be interesting to see how they go. But they've lost the first one. They've lost. There's no way that Van der Ven's coming back this week. No chance, mate. Not without hamstring pull. Absolutely. They've lost Romero for 3 games because straight reds 3 games. They've lost Ndogi for 1 game. We have no idea what's going on with Maddison. Be interesting. I don't know. Do you know what? I actually don't know who they've got this weekend off the top of my head. Let's have a little look. It'll be interesting to see what they go with.
Is it Wolves? Something like that? I think it was funny because last week you was like, "Yeah, I'd really like to see what happens. You know, if things start going wrong," and then that happened yesterday.
They've got Wolves. They've got Wolves away, which you know ain't an easy. Isn't going to be an easy fixture, but it'd be interesting. And it's the early kickoff. So
you need to say, "I want to see what happens when Man City get relegated," and we just sit here and cross our fingers.
Yeah. I mean, this is what makes like good teams great teams, isn't it? Like surviving your injuries. Like they might go to Wolves. I mean, it all depends on what Wolves turn up. Like sometimes Wolves are rubbish, sometimes they play really well. I mean, they might go to Wolves and beat them 5-0, and everyone will be like, "Who needs Maddison? Who needs Van der Ven?" But I think Van der Ven and that Romero or whatever his name is are much better players than. I mean, they had to play Emerson Royale as a centre back. I mean, I don't really rate him as a right back, let alone a centre back.
Oh, more Eric Dyer coming on. When you see Eric Dyer come on, you worry a bit.
When you see Eric Dyer put the ball
he actually played. That was a great finish.
It was a great goal.
But
a great goal.
Yeah. I mean,
just moving on from that game. We've gone through everything that we were going to go through, but I did want to have a quick word on Harry Kane. He's got an insane goal record out there in Germany at the moment. He scored another hat-trick. His 3rd hat-trick this season for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, but someone else has still scored more goals than him, haven't they?
I think he's top goal scorer now.
Yeah,
only because of this. The geezer from
Stuttgart or something, isn't it? He's been banging him in as well.
Frankfurt, I think, or might have been Stuttgart.
Frankfurt,
yeah.
Was it Frankfurt? Yeah.
The only thing I will say about Harry Kane scoring loads of goals in Germany is so did Choupo-Moting. Right, and he could score a goal for Stoke. So,
and I think we all expected him to smash Germany, didn't we? I don't think anyone thought he'd flop.
No, not flop. But still, I mean, if you think about what Lewandowski did up there, he's sort of the start he's had. I mean,
he's the best striker in the world.
Yeah,
he
is
the best striker in the world.
I want to know if he leaves at the end of the season, moves on.
What, from Bayern Munich?
Maybe.
Yeah. Jude Bellingham's at Real Madrid.
Yeah, they've got Josselin up front, another former Stoke player. I play with
England, Harry Kane, he's awesome. Get him in. You'll win everything with him up front. You would do. You would do.
Yeah, but what if they get Mbappe in? Because that's the plan, isn't it?
The rumour is he's about to sign a new contract, isn't it? I'm not convinced that's ever going to happen.
And if you play him out wide, you've got Mbappe, Vinicius and Kane.
Yeah.
With Bellingham behind.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
It's outrageous, isn't it? And that's if Haaland don't end up over there.
Yeah. That Monday Night Football had a good thing on strikers yesterday. There's really not that many about, is there? They went through the top teams in Europe, and you still got Olivier Giroud in there.
Yeah.
And players like that.
It's not a dying breed, because there are good strikers, obviously. You've got like Haaland and that. But to find one is priceless. If you can find a 25-goal striker, and Spurs were so lucky because they got him out of the youth system, they didn't even have to buy him. If you can get a 25-goal season striker, you should win stuff. You should win stuff.
Did you, talking of that stat that was on Sky Sports on Monday Night Football, did you see the goals per minute thing, and you see who was bottom? The worst goals per minute. Rasmus Højlund.
No, that was shots.
Was it shots?
It was shots on goal per 90 minutes, which is not really a striker's fault, I don't think.
No, I was just about to say that, because he's got to have the creativity there, hasn't he?
And Darwin was like top. with like 3 goals.
The whole reason they got that stat was just to like say Darwin was.
I'm sure it
doing
was, and to mug off that Rasmus, who just looks a bit raw, like we said last week. I think he'll come good, but Rashford's shocking as well. He's not getting much service, is he? With Rashford and Anthony on either side.
What do you make about Rashford being dropped for the Man United game?
I think he should have been. You can't go out and get battered by City, then go out partying the day like that night.
Yeah,
in the same town you just got battered in.
Is that why he got dropped?
Well, they said it was an injury, wasn't it? But I think he's been dropped.
Yeah.
It's pretty poor.
But yeah, he's so greedy, isn't he? Like,
What, Rashford?
I watched the United game. He was Rasmus was getting in some good positions. One like Bruno, greedy. Rashford,
funny,
greedy.
though.
Anthony, greedy.
Talking to what you said about Rashford, right? When it's Rashford, I heard what they said about that. They were like, "Oh, they haven't got the chemistry yet because that will come with time." But you know what? If that was Anthony doing that stuff, because Rashford's English, they're just like, "Oh yeah, it will come. It's just chemistry." But no, he's just greedy, like you said, like same as Anthony. But Anthony gets thrown under the bus. Oh, he costs this much money. He's come from foreign league, whatever. But the English players, these pundits are just making excuses for it.
If I'm Ten Hag, I'm playing Garnacho at the moment over Rashford. Yeah.
I'll put him in my fancy team, Garnacho. I really rate him.
And I'd wait till when Diallo comes back from injury, I have him in there as well. Over Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony's just awful. It's just awful. Just terrible.
Yeah. So you thought we were going to go through one episode without bashing Man United, but we managed to fit it in at the end.
Oh, no, there's always time for that. There's always time for that.
Just shocking, aren't they?
Oh, this must be the first episode where we haven't mugged Chelsea or so.
Well, they won 4-1 against the league leaders. I don't think we could. Like, there wasn't much we could do.
Just to say that,
against 9 men. Go on.
They were pretty bad. Like, they were pretty awful. Even though they won 4-1, they were still like. I'm
going to throw out here. Is that the worst hat trick you've ever seen?
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
the worst player ever seen.
His third goal, I thought he was going to fall over.
He
goes past it, and that Mudryk runs past him. So if he did pass it, he would have been offside. Like, does he know the rules, that Mudryk? I'm starting to think that he's not that good.
I'm starting to think someone saw him on like an Olympic track running and thought,
you know what? I watched. This is going to sound really bad. Then you might have to edit this bit out, right?
Oh no!
But I watched a video on YouTube of a couple of fellas chatting about that Mudryk, saying, "Do you know what? People felt sorry for him because he's Ukrainian and what was going on in Ukraine. So someone put their best bits together, and that's when people started trying to buy him because he scored one good goal against Real Madrid, and they applauded him off the pitch. And they were saying basically they were applauding him because he was Ukrainian, not because he played great football. And that's how he's cut his move. And when you start thinking about it, I'm starting to think these two fellas are onto something.
Maybe.
Because other than the cross goal he scored against Arsenal, I've not seen him do anything.
No. Remember that first time he actually came on against Liverpool last season?
He looks all right.
Played like 20 minutes. Looked fucking really good. And then since then, it's just been... He's quick. He's rapid as fuck. But
it's like he's too quick.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he doesn't know the offside. He doesn't know the offside rule because I've never seen a bloke run like... It wasn't even close. There was a couple of times he was like 4 yards offside. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I need that 4 yards. I need them 4 yards when I'm running. Do you know what I mean? He don't.
No. He could give them 4 yards.
Yeah. Mate, and the rest, yeah. Like you say, he's rapid. Yeah, maybe he was running against Usain Bolt and they thought, yeah, sign him.
Maybe. That's all you need, I think, some of these teams, isn't it? Just like, he's quick. We'll have him.
Yeah. That's what I've done on FIFA.
Cyclic players.
Yeah.
Well, that was our VAR special episode. And a lot of good points, a lot of bad points, a lot of Bill just being back in the 80s.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come next week. More drama, more VAR, I'm sure. And you see how the mighty Tottenham get on, eh?
And then after that is an international break. I'm just to put a damper on things.
Why would you do that?
Great way to end the episode.
I had such a smile on my face 30 seconds ago.